Hi everybody, it's Ian from the Jessops Academy. So this time last year, Olympus announced the E-M1 X, a camera body that was built for speed and professional use. It was rugged, it was durable, and it was a beautiful thing. Some people loved it, some people said it's a bit too big, and wouldn't it be amazing if we had all that same technology in a slightly smaller body? Well, Olympus have answered that question. I'd like to introduce you to the Olympus E-M1 Mark III. So the specification of this camera is very close to the E-M1 X. There's not a huge amount missing other than a few focusing modes designed for sort of tracking. Other than that, you know, all the functionality is there in a much, as I said before, in a very much smaller body. Now, there's also some things in addition on top of what the X had, which we're down at the coast today to test out. So I'm really excited to see those in action. It is a 20 million pixel sensor. It's also got a new processing engine, the TruePic 9, which powers, I guess, some of that extra cool functionality that we've come to test. But before we show you any of that, don't forget to like this video and subscribe and smash that bell icon so you never miss another video. So I don't have a 1X with me to compare and contrast the size and weight, but for those who are familiar with the 1X, you'll see that from this it's very, very much smaller, but it doesn't lose any of its capability when it comes to weather resistancy or its rugged magnesium alloy body. In fact, this camera is up there with the likes of the EOS 1DX Mark III, and it's very, very much smaller than that and extremely good value for money when you consider the price points. Interface is really nice actually. You got your normal OK screen, so you press OK, you get everything that you can see, but Olympus have also put a new info screen on, so by the magic of video, hopefully you should see that on screen now. That just gives you the fundamentals, but a different option of display without having too much on the screen. Whoa, hang on, water's coming in. Oh, I'm back. False alarm. And the other thing I like about it so far from using it is the joystick. Lots of cameras obviously have joysticks. Love how responsive it is, but also how clear it is in a viewfinder. You know exactly where that cursor is going, which can be really tricky on some systems because you just can't see it in the viewfinder or the screen. This is clear on both. So a lot of manufacturers are putting a high-res mode on their cameras right now, and Olympus have not been any different. The previous version of this, you could do 50 million pixels. One common thing though is you needed to be on a tripod. You needed the camera to be as still as possible. Olympus have gone on top of that. They're saying you can take a 50 million pixel high-res shot, but handheld. That's going to be pretty staggering if this pulls off. So nice scene in front of us. Let's give it a try. Ready, Tony? Now, of course, the way this works is the camera has to take and overlay a number of shots, in this case 16, okay? It does all the magical things inside and processes it to give you that huge 50 million pixel file. Incidentally, you could still have a tripoded mode of high-res shooting on this camera. That takes you up to 80 million pixels. But we're gonna give the 50 a try, handheld. Here we go. So I'm at f8 at 800th a second, nice bright sunshine behind me. And we got some roofs to have a look at, see what kind of rares and jaggedness or accuracy this is going to provide. All right, I'm going to take the shot now. So shot's taken, busy symbol comes up in the viewfinder, starts processing it through. Any minute now, hopefully it should pop up on the screen. So for those who are hungry for that huge resolution and sometimes associated with other cameras, then this certainly does prove the point that you can get 50 or indeed 80 million pixels, putting in the right mode and using Olympus's outstanding software inside the camera and its built-in IBIS and control to move the sensor around to get that extra resolution. So it's going to be great for things like architecture. Obviously, if you do have moving things in the frame, then not so good. Yeah, no, for stills, yeah, handheld 50 million pixels, not a problem at all. So not only has this camera got a 50 million pixel handheld high resolution mode, but if you're into your sports or wildlife, it's got a truly astonishing up to 60 frames a second in the right mode. I'm also trying out the tracking AF as well, which whoa, as soon as Tony's just got wet. As soon as it picks up on the subject, which in this instance is some surface, it tracks really well. Obviously this focus system is also aided not only by a really bright screen, but the viewfinder is now 120 frames per second and a time lag down to 0.005. So it's a really smooth display and allows a capture of fast moving subjects with ease. The focus system is really customizable. You can obviously select any of the focus points included, but not only that, you can adjust how many of them you use and in what shape and format. So you can be really specific, whether you want a long line or a big cluster. You know, you've got loads of options there, and it really helps you with whatever type of photography you're going to do. Be very specific about the tracking. Wow, that's really, really quick. Really wish I had the 300mm lens. That would be pretty awesome. And you know what? The 300mm lens, it's only about that big. Again, one of the great things about the Olympus system. Completely and utterly portable and versatile. So I'm now waiting for the sun to drop. I'm really wanting to test out the 7.5 stop image stabilization system, which Olympus claim you can do a 4-second handheld exposure. Given using this camera already, I can certainly see how, but I still want to try it. So here we go, I'm going to shoot the 4 seconds, Tony. Going to wait for some C to come in, just so we get some nice movement. Probably a little bit overexposed still, but let's give it a go. So I had a great time testing out the AF, and it was a real joy to use, kept up, and I'm really impressed so far. Lights drop now, so Tony and I are going to go and get some food and come back later on for some astro. Hopefully it stays clear like this. So back at base camp, keen to see the images on a bigger screen. And the ones I was really interested in looking at were the images. I used the built-in ND. I went straight up to 5 stops, so ND 32, and just to see really how well it performed. I could only get it down to 2 seconds, otherwise I was going to really blow the highlights. But yeah, really impressed actually. You know, I'm hand holding this, and these are JPEGs. I've just tweaked it a little bit in Lightroom, but nothing too major. If we look at the rocks here at the top, zooming in a little bit, then you can see they are still sharp, and that obviously that ND effect has given me some nice smooth water. So yeah. So here we are back at the beach. It's even colder, and as you can see, it's the middle of the night. We're down here to do some astrophotography and try out one of the new modes on the E-M1 Mark III, and it's actually a focus mode called Starry Sky. And if you're new to astrophotography like myself, it's definitely not my forte. We're probably doing everything wrong, so you astrophotographers out there will be horrified. First of all, we're not in a particularly good dark sky place. We've got a full moon behind us, but we're going to try it anyway. So the mode itself is a focus assist mode. It finds the focus on the stars for you without having to go into manual focus. And there's two ways you can do this. There's a speed operation, so there's minimal delay on finding things, but there's also one that's more specific as well. So it takes 2 or 3 seconds for the camera to hunt for its focus. And you do that using the back button focusing on the camera, and it says Starry Sky AF is running. And that helps to find the focus. Tony will need to kill the light in a minute when I actually go for my exposure. So it's found focus, so Tony, if you can kill the light. Probably can't see me now, but we're going to go for a 5-second delayed timer. We're wide open at f2.8, 1600 ISO, and a 10-second exposure time. Let's see how we get on. Okay, so day 2 with the E-M1 Mark III, and this morning we're here with a beautiful sunrise, and this is territory that I'm much more familiar with, unlike last night's astro shoot, although I really did enjoy it. So we're going to do some ND shots with the built-in ND. I'm going to take it all the way up to 5 stops and hopefully get down to a 10-15 second exposure to suck all that colour in and get some movement in the clouds and these little pools of water. So let's see how we get on and see how the ND performs. Okay, so I've got my camera set up on a tripod this morning. I want to take it beyond that sort of 2-4 seconds that you can do handheld with the camera. Certainly I've tried a few shots already handheld, but I want to take it down to about 10-15 seconds. So dug the tripod as far as I can into the sand, so hopefully it doesn't sink much more. Although that is a problem when you're on a beach. Ideally you should try and find some rocks or balance your legs out evenly. Some people use CDs actually, which is quite good. And good for recycling, obviously. Utilise CDs for something else. So let's take a few shots and see how we get on. So I'm going to go into the menu, and I've already selected my ND up to 5 stops. And the other mode Olympus have got is the live simulation. So this actually shows you live on screen the impact of having that slow shutter speed. This probably works best when you've got sort of fast moving water. But as you can see, it says LV simulation there. Slow shutter speed effect can be seen in live view, differs from the final image. So it's only giving you an idea really of what it could look like. And as I say, it does work best if you have something that's pretty quick that the camera can work out. Although this water's moving, it's not moving particularly fast. So yesterday I tried out the new high-res mode, which was 50 million pixels handheld, which is astonishing. But this morning I thought I'd give the other mode a go, which is you can put the camera on a tripod and get up to 80 million pixels. So here we are, I'm all set up, ready to go. And to select the high-res mode, you go into your menu and high-res shot. We've got 2 methods, either handheld or tripod. So I'm going to select tripod. So again, just to remind you, the way this works is it overlays 16 composite shots to create that final high-res image. Any camera system that usually has this, you do need to be tripoded or incredibly still. So with the Olympus you can do this handheld with 50, but tripoded 80 million pixels. Be interested to look at the detail of this image once it's completed. So I've come to the end of my time with the Olympus E-M1 Mark III, and I've got to say I am really impressed. Some of the standout features for me, firstly, the high-res handheld shoot mode. That is extremely impressive. I don't think I've seen that on any other camera system before. Also, along with that, the built-in NDs, lots of fun and frees you from having to use a tripod. The astro stuff we done last night, first time for me really playing with a feature like that, and it just made things a lot easier. I'm sure there are going to be experts at this and also amateurs like me that will find that mode extremely useful. The thing I think that stands out more than anything is the focus system. So quick, and obviously all the technology from the X has gone into this much smaller and lighter weight body. The face detection in specific never seems to fail. As soon as there's a face in the frame, it picks it up straight away. And of course on this camera now, you can swap between multiple faces that appear in the frame, either by touching the screen or indeed by using the controls. Some cameras, when you pick them up, are just an absolute joy to use, and the Olympus E-M1 Mark III certainly fits that category for me. If you'd like some more information, do check out jessops.com or pop into one of your local stores. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.